Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm musically malnourished. You're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. I just had lunch, but you know what I need? I need some 21 Pilots. I got a hankering for 21 Pilots, and so that's what we're going to do right now. We are in the album Blurryface from 21 Pilots. This is track number 6 called Lane Boy, so we'll give it a listen, maybe make a few comments along the way. You'll have an opportunity at the end to click into a second video called The Second Course, where we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. And if you want dessert, you can head over to Patreon. We have tons of extra content. Let's get into it. Dude, 21 Pilots just has the best, jamming beats. That's such an interesting sound. I'd imagine it's created digitally, but it almost just sounds like running your fingers over muted strings or almost some sort of Japanese or Chinese guitar type, like the layout ones, the table type guitars. So cool. And then Josh comes in. We're turning it up.
Change every other time, change, cause our minds change and what we think is good. I wasn't raised in the hood, but I know a thing or two about pain and darkness. If it wasn't for this music, I don't know how I would have thought this. Regardless, all these songs I'm hearing are...
It almost has kind of a reggae, like a really light reggae sound to it. The other thing I've realized in this album, or at least what I feel, is that Tyler has taken it almost like this kind of mellow type singing. That's the only way I know how to describe it. All of it's felt this kind of laid back type singing. Now I hear a little bit more of him from, Self-Titled and even Vessel peeking through in some moments, these inflections in his voice, but it's got this very, especially with Ride and what was the other, Stressed Out. There's this very mellow type way in which he's singing.
If it wasn't for this music, I don't know how I would have thought this. Regardless, all these songs I'm hearing are so heartless. Don't trust a perfect person and don't trust a song that's flawless. Honest, there's a few songs on this record that feel common. I'm in constant confrontation with what I want and what is popping in the industry. It seems to me that singles on the radio are currency. My creativity's on the free when I'm playing shows. They say in your lane.
Dude, that's really interesting. And we'll talk about it more in the second course. But from my understanding and from what some of you have shared, even one person commented and talked about how big Stressed Out got, because I realized when I got to Stressed Out, I've heard that song before because it was a huge radio hit and was everywhere. But somebody had expressed they were kind of afraid when it got so big because they were like, oh my gosh, is 21 Pilots going to turn mainstream? That's not what they said. Those are my words. Or this idea of are they going to curb their style to appeal, to a larger audience? And it's interesting because it's almost like Tyler's talking about it in the album. So I don't know. Really, really interesting thought.
Lane boy, we go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, but will they be alive tomorrow? I'm sorry if that question I asked last scared you a bit like a hazmat in a gas mask. If you ask Zach, he's my brother, he likes when I rap fast. But let's backtrack, back to this. Who would you live and die for on that list? But the problem is, there's another list that exists and no one really wants to think about this. Forget sanity, forget salary, forget vanity, my morality. If you get in between,
let's go.
You're gonna feel the heat of my cavalry. All these songs I'm hearing are so heartless. Don't trust a perfect person and don't trust a song that's flawless. They say in your lane, boy, and we go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, but will they be alive tomorrow? They say stay in your lane, boy,
Dude, there are so many different sounds in this. It was almost crossing into that, I don't even know what it is, but that very common that beat. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. Where are we going? I love the way he put the inflection on that one. Instead of lane boy, he said, lane boy. Did he go higher? Yeah, I'm not a good singer, guys, but I'm doing my best to express what I'm feeling. Lane boy, lane boy. Lane boy, we go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, but maybe like tomorrow. We got 40 seconds left. Let's have an extended outro here. Well, that track was just an opportunity to put Josh on full display there on the drums. It's interesting because, again, we've listened to so many songs, but just like trying to trace back over my first impressions, we don't get a lot of tracks with such extended instrumental parts. Obviously, there are instrumental parts throughout their music library leading up to this, but I felt like that was the most extensive one that we've had. And there were some interesting thoughts in there that I'll talk about in the second course. One of them that comes to mind that I'm trying to not let go of is Spaghetti Junction, especially when you're talking about a highway. So I live, well, West Georgia nowadays, but grew up in the kind of West Atlanta area. Spaghetti Junction is a famous kind of interstate connection where bridges and everything's going over each other. And that's what it makes me think of. So I'll get to that in the second course. Thanks for joining me for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I hope to see you over in the second course video. You can click right over here. Somewhere right there. See, I'm doing. Here it is on a plate. But you can join me over there and we'll do a little bit of a deeper dive. Thanks for being with me. I hope to see you in the next one because we're eating good.